What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 55th episode of the Foundation First Fitness Show. Happy New Year to everyone listening out there. Sorry for the couple of week hiatus, I think, basically on, from social media, pretty much as a whole, YouTube, for those of you watching this on YouTube. And the podcast listeners, I know have been kind of MIA for the last couple of weeks. Going to try to get back into it progressively. Lost my voice over the last couple of weeks with some colds, especially being away for the holidays and just kind of not being around the office that much, kind of slowed me down a bit. And then with all the eating and then so on and so forth that comes around the holidays, I guess my immune system kind of dropped down. So anyway, today's topic is going to be a little bit more of a self-reflection. A lot of people, for those of you who are listening, a lot of you know that probably 5 days ago was my birthday. It was my 30th birthday. So I'm starting to hit that. I hit that 30-year mark, and it really just kind of, the alarm started going off, and I started kind of wondering, what exactly I was going to be doing in the fitness aspect of my life. What was I going to be doing? How was I going to approach this? Started getting some questions from some of you listeners out there discussing or asking what they should be doing to kind of get back into shape, especially now with the new year coming around. A lot of individuals are kind of jumping into that scene, trying to make better decisions, trying to make healthier decisions, and how to approach those decisions and kind of how to approach the entire fitness scene itself. I think it's pretty easy to get lost along the way simply because there is so many things and there are so many things that you could be doing, and there are so many different ways to look at the entire fitness industry. And kind of there's so many different approaches, right? There's the quick loss industry. There's that kind of area where people are kind of selling you quick remedies and stuff like that. And then there's what I'm going to be kind of pitching to you is a little bit more of a long-term sustainable approach, which is essentially just the habits that we're going to be kind of taking on and kind of respecting for the next, whatever amount of years that you want to do this or be alive. So it's kind of interesting when you kind of think about it from the global aspect, and simply because if you look at the way we used to treat ourselves and the way we used to treat our bodies when we were younger, one of the things we did almost daily was just kind of, get up, eat whatever we wanted, do whatever we wanted in the weight room, training, sports, whatever, and then kind of come back home, pass out, wake up the next day, and repeat. And unfortunately, as you age, that's completely against what you can do. Your body starts, I guess, responding a lot differently to the things you're kind of exposing it to. And it doesn't mean that at some point you should just kind of throw in the towel and just kind of give up on your dreams and just not train at all and not be athletic at all. But almost you have to kind of take a different approach in the way you're looking at what you're doing. And I would say that one of the fastest ways for you to make a good decision is to almost look at the way you are kind of handling your daily routine. So instead of fitness and training just being that 1 hour that you go to the gym, I want to really kind of help guide you in the direction of what are you doing throughout the entire day. And one of the things I think that everyone here, everyone who's listening or watching on YouTube should be paying attention to is the recovery phase. I think that the first thing you should be paying attention to when you are training, when you are trying to be more fit and healthier, is your recovery. I think it's something that we kind of neglect. We toss it off to the side. We don't really think about it. The only thing we think about is the protein shakes and sometimes the food that we're eating. Now, nutrition makes up a portion of that entire recovery phase, but really the recovery phase for me, and the way I look at it, is basically it's a culmination of four things. It's your nutrition, it's the way you sleep, it's what you're doing throughout your day, and it's the tissue quality. So these four things combined really make up a lot of your recovery. They make up pretty much the entire thing. The way I look at it, they're going to make up the entire recovery component, and they will highly dictate how your body handles what you're exposing it to. So I'm going to go through all four of those and we'll kind of break them down individually. I'm not going to go too in depth on them, but I'm going to touch on them a little bit to give you an idea of how you should be handling them. The first one, nutrition. obviously this is a no-brainer. If you eat poorly, your body's going to respond poorly. So if you're eating poorly, you're going to be more fatigued in your day. You're going to sleep poorly. You're going to wake up and you're going to be caught in this vicious cycle of consistently eating poorly. So your body's going to seek out things that are going to give you that spike in adrenaline, that spike in energy. And that's going to constantly be throwing you back into that loop. It's going to be kind of a downward spiral until you eventually just crash and burn out, or you get sick, or you just don't get the results you want. So the fastest way to break against that is you almost have to do one of two things. You either go cold turkey, which is pull everything that's bad right out of your diet, or two, you kind of gradually weave your way out of it. Now, I don't particularly like the gradual. I'm very cold turkey. So completely pull out the bad, only expose yourself to good, deal with the ramifications of your body being out of whack for a week, and your body's going to be fine after that. That's the way I look at it. That's what I highly recommend for all of you. Obviously, if you have an addiction, this is not addiction related, but this is, eating poorly, bad habits, drinking a lot, this, that, the other thing. If you can get rid of those things, the faster you get rid of them, yes, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because your body's going to react poorly to it, but the faster you're going to be able to get yourself into a better habit of eating healthy. So that's the first thing. Eat healthy. Eat healthy before you train, eat healthy after you train, eat healthy the entire day. So lots of water, stay very hydrated, eat lots of greens, eat lots of fruits. Make sure you're not drinking, make sure you're not eating a lot of fried foods, and reduce the amount of sugar. If you can respect those rules, you'll be just fine. Number two, the sleep. Sleep almost kind of gets tied into a bit of nutrition. So nutrition does affect sleep, stress affects sleep. So there's a lot of things that are going to be really important there. But I can't really help kind of guide you on your stress level aside from telling you to just be active. That's guaranteed to help your stress level. But in terms of sleeping, sleeping is something that you can almost control the almost kind of the lead up to it and the quantity of sleep you're getting. So if you can stay consistent and you can almost maintain that certain level of quantity of sleep, it's going to be really important and it's going to be really helpful for you. So you're going to be able to almost gauge the amount of sleep you're getting per night and also gauge the lead up to it. So gauging the amount is making sure that, at 11 o'clock you're asleep, 7 o'clock you're waking up. And if that's the amount of sleep you need, you're always respecting that. And you should almost play around with those numbers to kind of see where you really fall into that spectrum of, do I need 7 hours of sleep? Do I need 8 hours of sleep? And understanding where you are along that line. Leading up to the sleep, the things that you're going to want to make sure you do is reduce the amount of stressful things that you're doing. So avoid arguments, avoid, dealing with stressful situations at work, thinking about those stressful situations. You almost want to remove yourself from anything that's going to get those juices going. You want to kind of wind down, calm down, and you want to do that at least an hour before you go to bed. The second thing you want to do is remove the amount of electronics in your life near bedtime. You want to reduce that amount so that your body can kind of ease into it. Studies have shown that people who are more likely to suffer from poor sleep are also going to be dealing with having their phone next to them right before they go to bed. So the earlier you can put that away, the faster you're going to be able to go to sleep and the better your quality of sleep will be. Next thing you can do is you can also start making sure that your room is prepared for you to sleep. So making sure that your sheets are changed, making sure that your room is very clean and tidy so that it's almost a welcoming situation. It's almost a welcoming environment for you to go in and sleep. The other thing is the temperature. You want to make sure that your room's not too hot, not too cold. You want to be able to find that nice temperature to sleep in. Now, moving on from sleep, the daily routines. The daily routines, and what I mean by daily routines and daily habits is you almost want to be able to be active. So the activity that you're going to be doing throughout the day is drastically going to affect your recovery. So what I mean by that is we usually think that sitting down and just kind of sitting in this position is great for us because we're kind of relaxing, we're letting our body recover. But in reality, a lot of what we're doing in the weight room is not drastic enough for us to really need to be lying down the entire day. We want to make sure that we're actually allowing our body to kind of keep moving and also allow our bodies to retain a lot of that movement pattern that we're doing. So, sitting down in a basically hunched over position like this, what we're doing is we're not exposing our body to the right things so that we're not going to be prepared for the next workout. This sitting down, hunched over, typing in a computer position is very likely to lead us away from good recovery. We want to be able to keep our bodies and allow us to almost reap the benefits of what we just did in the gym. So if your workout is based on you creating good posture, you having clean movements, and you moving a lot, then you should try to respect that throughout your day and reduce this amount of kind of sitting down. And you want to stay in a nice, tight, tall position, nice posture, good core activation. I know it's a lot to ask when you're sitting down, but if not, just stand up, walk around, be a little bit more active throughout your day. That's going to help you from the day to day. And finally, soft tissue and tissue quality. Tissue quality is one of those things that I've been kind of getting on everyone about. Tissue quality is a really important component to recovery, and I think it's one of the areas that a lot of people just kind of neglect. No one really pays attention to tissue quality, and it really is one of those areas where you can actually see noticeable difference very early on. It's really neck and neck with nutrition in terms of how much of an impact it's going to have and how early on. Everyone that I've given soft tissue work to, basically foam rolling, lacrosse ball into the foot and all that stuff, kind of before, after the workouts, throughout the day, as much as you can get of it to create a good amount of movement on those within that muscle tissue is really important. You want to make sure that your tissues are gliding and they're able to move, the pliability's there, their movement's there, their elasticity's there. You don't want any restrictions in your movement. If you do that, your body will respond very well to it. It's one of the things that I've been doing for the last year that I've noticed has been helping me a lot, and I've just been continuously doing it as often as I can. Sometimes I'll do it 2-3 times a day. I have that ability because I have a role, because I'm literally working in a facility, so I can just kind of walk over, do my foam rolling, come right back. But at the same time, having one at home is a great option too. They're really inexpensive. You can get a roller for $20. You can get a lacrosse ball or something like that for like $2-3. The highest you could probably pay is about $5. And really, it doesn't take much more than that to notice a huge difference. But if you're applying all of those 4 things, especially that soft tissue that a lot of people just kind of neglect, you will notice a huge difference in your overall performance. And I really think that at some point in time, we really have to start almost rewiring our thought process and start taking care of our body and putting ourselves in the best position to be able to go into a workout and get those benefits. If we're able to get those benefits from the workouts, that's where we're going to be noticing our body's going to be healthier. We're going to be moving better. Everything in our day is going to kind of fall into place. That's all going to be coming from our preparation and our recovery. So it's the before and the after, not so much the workout. Now, obviously, the workout's really important if you're doing the right things, it's that the other thing. But I really think one of the key areas to really focus on for those of you who are crossing that 30-year-old barrier and on, you really want to start spending a little bit more time focusing on the before and the after, the recovery phases, taking care of your body, because your body will not respond the same way it did when you were 20. We all know that. So the things you need to do are the sleep, the nutrition, the things we do throughout our day, and the recovery of soft tissue and basically tissue quality. If you guys can put all that together, I have no doubt that you will feel a drastic improvement in your performance. Give that stuff a shot. Let me know what you guys think as usual. And until that next time, guys, keep building that foundation.